Hello there, everybody. This is AJ Gordon here with another episode of Sid Meier's Civilization 5 Brave New World. Uh, Listen, I have been playing this game for years. I know it came out a very long time ago. There were some great expansions that came out with Brave New World, being the most recent expansion. Look, there are some newer versions of Sid Meier's Civilization out there. There was the Beyond Earth version of the game that came out that was, I think it had mixed receptions. I don't think it was a bad game, but, it was kind of cumbersome. I think it had a tough time catching on. And then, of course, the Sid Meier's Civ 6 came out, which I've dabbled with a bit. I've played and I've had some successful campaigns. I have won on that game version before, but really my heart lies with Civ 5. I played this game for many, many, many hours. I really love it. I think there are a lot of mechanics that differ from Civ 6 that cause me to enjoy it. That being said, I thought it was time to make my gaming experience a little bit communal, to share some of my gaming out there. I did have a campaign with England recently, but this is really the first game that I intend on putting out to share with the masses. So I hope it's enjoyable for you. Um, I so a lot of people go into the game with a civ picked out, and perhaps to pair with that civ a specific strategy, which I may very well do in the future. But for this particular game today that we're going to start, I'm going to pick a completely random civ to play. It could be anything from the Persians to the Indians to the British to the Russians to the Carthaginians. Who knows? My rules are I'm not going to reject whatever civ I get. I think we've all played that game where we've chosen a random leader and then immediately gotten someone we hate and wish we could go back and restart and often do. None of that today. I may be getting a civ I have no idea how to play, a civ that I've never had a successful campaign playing before. So for this video, essentially we're just going to enter ourselves in the lottery. A few things before we get started. Yeah, so random civ. I am going to play map type continents. I kind of view that as a standard map type. I know you can put it on random, but I don't want to make it so random that we get something goofy that's like kind of not, it's kind of hard to watch. I think continents is a pretty standard um, style of play. And, I think the randomness of the civilization is enough as far as leaving it to chance. I know you can also have a random map size. I think that's a little goofy too. I don't want to get stuck in a duel with one other civ. So I think 8 players on the map is a good place to is good as well. I think difficulty level 6, Emperor, that is how I tend to play. I've had a lot of victories on this difficulty level. I've always had trouble. I think the breaking through to the immortal level has been really difficult for me. Um, and of course, I think for those of you who don't know, the way that the AI in the game works is that it's all the same AI. Like from level 1 to level 8, it's the same. They think the same, they act the same, they make decisions in the exact same way. The only difference is that they have extreme bonuses on some of the higher levels, and the user has extreme bonuses on some of the lower levels. So playing 6, I think 4 is where it's completely even. 5 is where you get some really, some like little advantages here and there for the AI. 6 is where there's, I guess, significant advantages, or not enormous, but there are advantages. I forget exactly what there are, and I'm not going to look into it. But anyway, the point is they get some advantages over the user, so the user has to be crafty in overcoming them. Um, so yeah, but that's the game difficulty I'm going to play today. And I think standard, that is the game pace I prefer. I played games, so I think Epic can be a bit too long and dragged out and a bit boring to watch, especially the first maybe like 100 turns. Nothing happens. You're just waiting on stuff to be built. Quick can also go by a little bit too fast. Like the good times are just getting started. You really hit an exciting point with a civ, and before you know it, it's like the game's just moving too fast. I think standard is perfect for that, so that's what we're gonna go with. Um, Yeah, as far as advanced setup, I do love a legendary start. That's what I'm going to go with. Any type of victory is going to be okay here. Some people prefer to do domination only sometimes. That is not my style. I think any victory type is going to be okay here. Yeah, and I'm going to leave everything else standard. So whatever we get, we get. Yeah, and I'd say let's go ahead and get this game started and see who we are. The Brazilians. Wow. Okay. Brazil. I'm realizing you might. I forgot if I shut the audio off. You might be hearing him talk right now, so I'm not going to do a ton of talking. Okay. You have the Priscina, the modern era infantry unit that earns points towards a golden age when it defeats an enemy. Great. Um, and a Brazil one camp. It can only be built on a jungle tile. It provides additional gold to the empire, and after the acoustic technology is researched, it also provides extra culture. Okay. All right. Tourism output is 100% during their golden ages, earn great artists, musicians, and writers 50% faster during their golden ages. Guys, look, I think there's pretty much only one direction you can go with the Brazilian Empire. I'm going to be honest, I haven't really played them on Civ 5. I have played them on Civ 6, and I think their specs are a little bit different, their abilities. On Civ 5, a Brazilian game is a cultural one, pretty much 100%. I think like not to say you can't win other modes of the game, but I think you're pretty much going for a tourism victory as Brazil. Um, yeah, I think that's what you're doing. Tourism output 100% during golden ages. Really, we're going for golden ages. We're going for tourism. I mean, we want so like we're going to want a whole lot of wonders. Um, yeah, and we even produce military units that get points towards the golden ages as as we kill enemies. I'm assuming defensively, and we're going to want to get a whole lot of Brazil wood camps. Uh, so hopefully we're settled near some jungle. All right, I already have a ton of ideas about how this game is going to pan out, but I will go through those in the next video. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to label this video 0 because there's no gameplay so far. And moving forward, I think I'm going to try to do about the goal is going to be 25 moves per video, just to make it digestible and easy to watch. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in for this. We are Brazil playing as Pedro 2. I'm very excited to do this. I've never played as Brazil on Civ 5 before, so I am so excited to play this with you. And pursuing what I'm assuming is a cultural victory, but I'm going to spend some time thinking about this, and I will get back at you. Um, yeah, I will. We can catch up in episode 2. Take it easy in the meantime. Thank you so much, and catch you in episode 2. Bye bye.